Ladies and gentlemen, I want to think about my mental questions louder and louder, so that you can hear them too. It's irrelevant to me what you judge, although not judgment, that your perception, conclusions, or interpretations can affect my mental reflections. But in this one-on-one dialogue, I is I on either side of the table. We are sitting and you will be willing or unwilling listener who will inevitably be judged at the end. A judgment that is important but not to me. I threw the first stone to send my rings of memory to you, the echo of what digs me in and eventually wears me out. But what made me think so loudly is ridiculous contradiction that entangle us as artists. A paradox so ridiculous that it sometimes frightens me. We speak of justice. Justice in language, justice in sight, justice in words, and justice in life. Justice is our hidden concern, and perhaps sorrow in our words and writings, which we deliberately want to expose and insist on promoting it. But why does what the subconscious reveals to us show the true form of our irrational behavior? Reality, willingly or unwillingly, is not what we knowingly say. It is what we unknowingly show and do. Of course, this is not my concern. What frightens me is the evil that must be in order for justice to take shape, the justice that requires oppression. Now I ask the I on the other side of the table. Why did freedom, equality, and justice become our concern as artists? And I draw an ideal world in which happiness, mental and physical health, equality, justice, capital, dance, and laughter prevail, and no external sorrow is conceivable for man. That is the world of an ideal and arbitrary society. And I ask, was it first oppression that arose to create the need for justice or what? And really, what happened in that ideal world that suddenly oppression was formed and emerged, so that now the need for justice is the subject of concern? Sometimes question after question confuses us and does not allow us to draw the true form of our worries. So we must inevitably open the thread of the warp and weft of this disorganized skein to form a plan to arrive at the answer. The frightening point, however, is this. In order to be free and just, one needs a disgusting background called evil, meaning that evil and oppression must have taken place in order for just artists to be formed, to need justice, freedom, and equality, to come into being. Isn't that a ridiculous and terrifying paradox? The oppressor creates Robin Hoods, and the Robin Hoods are killed by the oppressors. That is always the creator. The killer of the creature and the artist a little further away, and sometimes even in the middle of the war, only depicts and registers without actually doing the work of the workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me, what role are we artists really going to play in this ridiculous and terrifying paradox? How many dictators or symbols of oppression in history have finally been overthrown by poetry? I say, poetry can and has been able to cultivate freedom seekers and justice seekers. But why should I not tremble at this event? We have not been able to eliminate any evil or oppression or dictatorship, both inside and outside. You must have noticed my funny hint. We have not even been able to train or get rid of the dictator hidden inside us. Do not ask me for signs and examples. That humanity trembles. I'm a liberalist, but this seemingly short and meaningful sentence hides 1,000 unseen crimes behind me, and no one asks, what is liberation? Freedom to commit which forgotten act? What is a story? What have you not done, or what have you done wrong, that now the need for liberation and freedom, the need for justice, becomes the cloak of your intellectual? Liberalism? Justice seeker? It seems that these must have appeared after Operation. Tell me, what did you do before the pursuit of freedom and justice, that the world's need for the justice and freedom has fallen? Where you should have been and were not. Where careful and being careful could have cost the world far less. Which share did your words come out the house with? The yellow vest was the result of color and material of which of our hangover artist shirts? Death of morality, death of joy instead of evil, was the result of which act we did not know and did not do. We are accustomed to looking only at the disabled and talking about them and reacting to them to avoid accountability. But illness and pain are rooted in causes and factors that we knowingly and perhaps unknowingly overlooked and put. And we did not foresee the need for the protection before the early death. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say, the artist cannot cure the paradoxes. He cannot eliminate need for a West. He only plays with different shape and form like the common folks. Otherwise, what is more frightening than the fact that oppression is justice born?